Well, Jeremy, it's just delightful to see you again. I know we've stayed in touch, but just for the audience point of view, you danced with me and did very well, and then went on to study physiotherapy and Pilates, of course, and now the latest qualification is?
Yep, working for a medical device company as a clinical specialist, so I support orthopaedic surgeons for hip and knee replacement surgeries.
Which we don't want to send you young dancers, which
No.
brings me to this conversation because I am so concerned where the industry is going. The amount of overstretching I see and the connective tissue breaking away that, we know we can't change the bones. So why are they trying to do this and end up you seeing them on the theatre? Because people are contacting me that the hip replacements are getting younger and younger in adolescence. And if they're having a hip replacement young, that means 3 or 4, doesn't it?
Yep. So a hip replacement's only designed really to last about 20 or so years. And initially we were putting them into the older patients, and the demand on them was, can you get up, get a cup of tea, go back. But now people are getting joint replacements at a younger age, expecting more out of them. And effectively a joint replacement is never going to be the same as the one that you had, so you can't put as much work into it as you would if it was your own pre-existing one. And I think a lot of the problem stems from a lot of social media stuff.
I couldn't agree more.
And you see these TikTok videos and the Instagram videos, and it worries me, and they pop up on my news feeds quite regularly of 90 days to get 45 degrees over splits, or the scorpion, and pull it all the way over. And there's no need. So, we've both seen Don Q in the last couple of days, and not once did Kitri do an aerial or a backflip or a leg mount quadruple pirouette.
No, it just wouldn't be the same.
No.
And Nureyev would be rolling over in his grave.
Absolutely.
And what's happened to Purity Align?
Yep.
Just, and I'd like to wind the clock back and try and get teachers to think, our ethos is the body's forever, dance is not. And, you don't want to be seeing these young people in front of you. It's sad.
Yep.
On the operating theatre.
Absolutely. So with the younger ones, because of the constant exposure to the social media, and this is normal and this is what is expected of you, it's a lot of pressure on the youngsters to perform that sort of pyrotechnics of like super over splits and things. So when you're actually stretching a young dancer, like their muscles are very pliable, so they can get to those ranges of motion, but then your hips will anatomically only allow you to get to a certain amount of what's end of range. And then once you get to that end of range, because with your hip joint, it's a ball and socket joint, there's bony end of range, but as a young dancer, we all have a structure called a labrum that goes around the ball and socket joint, so that's around the socket component. Once you reach the end of range, you can start to deform the labrum in a younger dancer, and it doesn't cause them immediate pain, but what it does is it creates little frays and nicks around and tears around it. And it's that labral damage, and then once you've extended it beyond there, then you start grinding. And I don't like to use the term bone on bone because that's a scary word, but effectively you're going to be creating bony changes due to close to bone on bone and bone on cartilage contact, which is at the extreme range of motion, which is not meant to be there. Yep.
And one of the issues I have is a lot of the judges at competitions are rewarding the most flexible instead of the quality, the artistry, the movement, the coordination, all those vital elements that will help them get a job. And we know not everybody's going to end up in Don Quixote, we know that, but we want them to have safety.
Absolutely.
And these perimeters, please listen.
Yes, and we want them to be healthy beyond the age of 16 years of age and have a body that lasts them forever and reap the benefits of dance, musicality, strength, discipline, all of those good things that come with it, rather than creating, osteoarthritic changes and labral tears and degenerative changes in their hip sockets and their knees and their feet.
That's right.
Setting
They'll end
them
up hating dance because it caused this.
Yes, yes.
Please listen.
Yep. Rather than it being like an empowering thing that holds them instead for life, it, you know,
That's
permanently damages them, leading to surgical interventions, which is not ideal.
No. Thank you so much.